So, you bought your Audi A3, and the first aesthetic upgrade you want to make is adding an RS grille. I'll provide the link where I bought my RS grille at the best price, so you can buy from the same place, which has proven reliable for me. Also, remember that I'm not a seller, but I'll show you the grille installed on my car. Additionally, at the end of this video, I'll illustrate the installation step by step. I'll walk you through the installation of the grille so you can learn. Just to show you that the finish is perfect, my grille has been in use for at least 5 years and still holds up. One of the things you need to check for is the reputation of the seller, because the logo often peels if made from poor quality material. The same goes for this chrome part. I've seen cases of people buying from sellers with a misfit grille shape, thus I'll provide the link to the reliable seller I bought from. Remember, I don't sell this product, I'm only recommending it. Now, you'll get to see the entire installation process step by step, and if you like this video, give it a like, share it to support our channel, which helps us immensely. So, do like this video as we continue with the installation tutorial from start to finish, to show you each step and each tool needed to completely disassemble the bumper and replace it with the RS3 grille. Yes, this part is of the grille. You will use a Torx T30 to loosen these 3 screws. I've already loosened mine to make it easier for filming. This speeds up the process for both viewers and myself during filming. So, we're going to have to, this is essential for changing the grille, in case someone wants to do that, or even if someone wants to remove the car's headlight for maintenance. Now I'm going to finish loosening these 3 top screws you saw here. You'll need a Torx T30 for this disassembly. If the video becomes too long, I'll fast forward it for you. Let me get another wrench so we can move ahead. And the wrench you see in my hand, it comes as standard with the car. To recap, on the grille we have 3 screws, one here, one next to the hood release lever, and one here. That's the first part. The second part you'll need to remove is down here on the car. Underneath the bumper you'll find 3 screws. One is located here, another in the middle of the car, and the last one at the other end. So there's one at each end and one right in the middle of the bumper so we can remove it. Moving on in the sequence, now we only have 2 more screws to be able to remove the entire bumper. Okay, so let's go. And also, to be able to access the headlight, we need to remove the screws from the mudguard. So it's a T25 torque, and you'll have to remove 1, 2 and 3. Once you've removed these 3 on the bumper, you can see that it has this hole at the end. That's because there is a Torx T25 screw here. So you'll have to move this to the side and loosen this Torx T. Okay guys, so you can pull and release the bumper side locks, right? Then loosen this side screw here, which comes from the bottom up, and move the bumper away. Pull it to the side and it comes out. Okay, from now on the bumper is practically loose, entirely loose. Just pull and the entire bumper comes off. Well, as you can see, the bumper is already removed. Even for those who are curious, the car's horn is here on this side, okay? Then, it's not difficult to remove. So here's the latch on the end that I told you about, and the 3 latches at the top so we can remove it. Here you'll have to loosen it. Obviously, this connector here is for the headlight and you'll need to loosen this little hose here. This hose is for the headlight washers. So I'm going to show you what the inside looks like too. So, for those who want to know what it looks like from behind, or those who want to swap it for the RS3 Grille like the one I have on my car, the process is the same for both the original grille and the RS Grille. It wraps around the entire grille. Contrary to what people think, it comes out from the back, it goes outside, it goes inside. Of the bumper, in this case, then you'll pull it here. You'll have to loosen all the screws. Look, we have a screw here, a screw here, a screw here. Up here we don't have screws, okay, only on the side areas. So we have 1, 2, 3, and down here we have some more screws that are hidden behind this hose, which you can see connects to the headlight washer. You see it connects to the headlight washer so you can remove this hose. Just pull it and it comes out of this hole. So detach it, right, the entire bumper hose all the way around and loosen all the screws on the edges. Afterwards, when you've loosened them all the screws on both sides, there's one up here, one here, one here, then you can pull the grille back and the grille will come out in its entirety along with this part, okay, this flap that goes up here. They go together and they're going to replace it. They're going to fit the new grille again, right? Which would be the one on the RS. They fit the new grille, secure it with the screws again, with the 3 side screws on each side. Fasten the 3 side screws on each side. So what are we going to do? We're going to run this hose again from end to end. We're going to connect this hose to the reservoir down here, okay? It has a little plug for you to tighten, remove, and put in it. And it's very simple. We'll then put the bumper back together. I'll film the bumper reassembly for you, okay? Okay, now I'm going to reassemble it. So the first thing is to plug it in. The fog light, right? We fit the bumper back, so I'm going to film it here for you and I'll show it to you. Well, the bumper is pre-fitted and back in place. Now we're going to start, right? Placing the screws to secure it well. The first step in reassembly is to use these screws that have this big washer to attach it here at the top. Always remember that you don't need to tighten these screws 100%, okay? First, we're just going to fit them in, right? We're just going to fit them here so that the bumper doesn't come out of place, but we're only going to tighten them when we finish placing all the screws, right in all the places. Remember that this here is a T25, T30 torque, okay, so I'm not going to tighten it all the way. I'm just going to put them in place here, and I'm just going to press even when it is 100% complete, right when installing everything. I'm reminding you when you're going to install, a tip for you. The tip is that here in this area, you will see, I will push with my leg and the grid will go to the front and back. Do you see there's a gap here? You have to push this whole piece back, okay? So that it stays glued so that the bumper is all right, okay? Okay, moving on from where we already placed these screws at the top, now we're going to place the screws at the ends of the bumpers, okay? So I'm going to put it here and I'm going to film it for you. Now here on the edge of the fender, right, with the fender fitted perfectly, you can see, let me even light it here so you can see. The fender is fitted perfectly, right, against the side. We're also going to place the screw here, the one that comes from the bottom to the top. As I only have one hand free, let's see if I can push it over here and show you. Now it's easier to show you. Over there, mark this spot. This is where you'll place the screw that comes from the bottom to the top. This screw requires a T25 torque, so you'll need to use a T25 wrench to tighten it. So, come in from bottom to top with the wrench, and then you'll tighten this screw. It's going to pull this edge here. You see this gap? It's pulling this gap upward. Its job is to pull the bumper up, so let me tighten this and then we'll move on. We're going to move on now, okay? After all the side screws have been tightened, we'll continue with the screws on top, always keeping in mind that we need to push the grill backward. I'm by myself, so I'll push the grill back with my body to keep it snug. Always make sure these top screws are tightened well. Lastly, we only have the mudguard screws and the bottom screws left to tighten. Now to finish up, these are the last 3 screws. Here we have the mudguard, the first, second, and third screws. Just tighten these 3 and you're done. Now the final result after assembly. The assembly has to fit really well here. These 3 screws on top of the grill are already tightened. The fit around the headlight is perfect, which is also very important. This side has to fit snugly, without gaps or creases. As you can see, it fits really well. There's not even enough space to slide a fingernail in here. That is how you assemble this. So, recapping, we have the 3 screws at the top. The screw that goes from the bottom to the top here on the edge, and the screws underneath the bumper.
Your likes and subscriptions to the channel are much appreciated. Please leave a like to help us out and leave a comment if you've done this before or if this video was helpful. If you want to learn about everything related to coding for Audi and Volkswagen, the first links are in the description. Now let's start from the beginning, showing you each step, including all the tools and how to disassemble a bumper completely and swap it for the RS3 grille. Let's get started.